Ever watch a music video and think, there's gotta be more to this? Like there's all this symbolism, hidden messages, stuff you wouldn't catch on the first watch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what we're all about today, diving deep into Lauryn Hill's everything is everything. This isn't just any music video, right?
Oh, absolutely not.
It's iconic, won a Grammy, left a mark on culture. We're going to unpack it all. The symbolism, the historical references, the social commentary that make this video so powerful. Get ready for some serious aha moments.
What really gets me about this video is how Lauryn Hill uses the whole music video thing itself to make a statement. Like, back in '98, music videos were huge.
Huge. Everyone watch ATV, TRL.
Exactly. And Hill knew how to use those visuals to tell a story, to make you think.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning.
Yeah.
We see this cityscape, kind of like you're driving through it, and then
Okay.
boom, giant record needle drops, and suddenly it's like we're in this world built on a spinning record. It's Lauryn Hill's world, you know?
And that record, super important. Vinyl was still a big deal in hip hop then, especially for DJs.
Yeah.
Scratching, remixing, that whole art form.
Right, like taking something old and making it new.
Exactly. Putting the city on a record that connects us straight to that creativity. Oh, and that wow sound right at the beginning. That's intentional.
Really?
Yeah. DJs used to scratch to avoid that sound. Hill's acknowledging the tradition, but also flipping it, you know?
Like, I see your rules, but I'm doing things my way. Love it. Okay, so we've got the city on a record, but then we see Lauryn Hill, and she's not just performing, she's a waitress in this cafe, Magisters. And there's this lion, right?
Right.
With the red, yellow, and green flag. That's when it hit me. Rastafarianism.
Bingo. That lion and flag, total nod to Rastafarianism, huge connection to Jamaica, to Africa, those colors. They all mean something deep in Rastafarian culture.
So she's a waitress, she's Lauryn Hill, the artist, and she's representing her faith visually right there in the first minute.
Layers, man, layers. That's why this video is a masterpiece.
It's a lot to take in. And we're just getting started. Speaking of layers, those lyrics are full of them. Let's get into that first verse. Struggling youth, rejecting deception, even questioning authority. Remember that line? Who made these rules? We're so confused.
Oh, man, that hits hard.
Right. Like she's speaking to everyone who feels like an outsider.
Exactly. It's like she's channeling a whole generation's frustrations. And remember how we were talking about those different voices she takes on in the video? The waitress, the artist?
Yeah.
Well, those lyrics, that's the activist coming through, speaking truth to power.
Totally. You can hear it in her voice, how real it is. Like
Yeah.
she's inviting you to question everything right along with her.
It's not just what she's saying, it's how she shows it, too. Like that scene with the young black teenager getting frisked by the undercover cop.
Oh, man. That gets me every time.
Right. It's so brief, but it says so much about racial profiling, about what it's like to be a young black man in America.
We don't even see what happened before, but you just know, right? It's based on prejudice, not any actual evidence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the way Hill breaks that tension? Genius. Black Hand comes down, scratches the record, throws the whole city into an earthquake.
And the kid escapes in all the chaos.
It's like this powerful metaphor, you know, for challenging oppressive systems, using your voice, your art, everything you have to disrupt the status quo.
That scratch is like an act of defiance. We will not be silenced. We will fight back.
Exactly. And she takes it even further in the second verse. More powerful than two Cleopatras bombing graffiti on the tomb of Nefertiti. Such strong imagery.
I love those lines. Makes you think about all those powerful women throughout history, those queens like Cleopatra and Nefertiti. They defied expectations, challenged what it meant to be a woman, let alone a ruler.
There's even more to it than that, too. Remember, Hill's Rastafarian.
Right.
And Rastafarians have huge respect for Empress Menen of Ethiopia. She's supposed to be descended from King Solomon and Cleopatra. So when Hill says, more powerful than two Cleopatras.
She's putting herself in line with these incredible black queens.
Exactly. Reclaiming that power, that history, you know.
Wow. I never even made that connection before.
And then she keeps going, MCs ain't ready to take it to the Serengeti. That links back to the Rastafarian belief in repatriation to Africa, to Zion.
It's like she's challenging other artists, asking them, are you really about liberation, about going back to our roots?
Yes. And then, just when you think you've got it figured out, she throws in Betty Shabazz, Malcolm X's wife.
Out of left field, but it works. Why is that detail so important?
Betty Shabazz's life is fascinating. Total transformation, evolving beliefs, civil rights activist, but early on, she's all about traditional gender roles, influenced by Islam, by Malcolm X. But after his assassination, she becomes this amazing advocate for education, for social justice, even started challenging those patriarchal interpretations of Islam.
So she finds her own voice, her own way of challenging the norms, even within her faith.
Yes. And there's a parallel to Hill's journey. Rastafarianism, as much as it's about black liberation, has had its own issues with gender equality.
Ah, I see what you mean.
By including Betty Shabazz, Hill might be hinting at something deeper. Even within movements for justice, there's always room to push further, to challenge the status quo, you know?
Yeah, it's like she's saying, don't be afraid to question things.
Yeah.
Like even your own beliefs. Evolve. Redefine yourself.
Right. Yes. And she never loses that core, that unique Lauryn Hill perspective. And it all culminates in that moment, you know, the one where the needle gets stuck on the record,
Oh, yeah.
right on that newspaper headline, war.
Chills every time. Like that image, that word, it's a gut punch, All those messages about justice, about equality, they can get lost so easily in the headlines. Whatever crisis is blowing up the news cycle, that's all people focus on.
In the context here, right? 1998, the second Gulf War is brewing, everyone's anxious about Iraq, but all anyone can talk about is Clinton's impeachment.
It's like some things never change. Today, it's a million different things, all fighting for our attention. It's overwhelming. You just want to tune it all out.
And that's why that stuck needle, it's brilliant. Lauryn Hill, she knew we were headed toward this 24/7 news cycle, this constant chaos. But she's reminding us art matters, music matters. Using your voice to speak truth, that matters, even when it feels like no one's listening.
Like she's sending a message to the future. Don't let all the noise drown out the art that speaks to your soul, that makes you think, that pushes for change.
Yes, exactly. And that message, even more important today, right?
No doubt. So where does that leave us? What does it all mean for anyone watching? Everything is everything today. For me, it's more than just a song, more than a video. It's this timeless call to action. Think for yourself, embrace who you are, and never stop fighting for a better world, even when it feels like things are spinning out of control.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It shows how powerful art can be, you know? It makes you think, it makes you feel, it inspires action. And it leaves you with questions like, what if Lauryn Hill made this video today? What would she focus on? What would she want us to see, to challenge, to fight for? Those are the conversations we need to keep having.
100%. Lauryn Hill's legacy deserves to be explored, unpacked, debated. And on that note, we're wrapping up our deep dive into Everything is Everything. To everyone listening, go watch the video again. See what new layers you uncover. Trust us, it's a journey worth taking.